Hello, you speakers. I'm Katza.
And I'm Javier.
Today, we're going to discuss a topic that is essential to communicating effectively in English making requests.
Are you afraid to ask for something and maybe sound too formal or too informal? Today, we'll show you the ABCs of asking for anything at all.
So, stay tuned. Today, you're learning different ways to make requests in English. Welcome to another episode of the You Speak English podcast. Thank you for hitting that play button and subscribing to our podcast channel. Remember, you can download the script for this podcast. The link is in the description box below.
Okay, my favorite section most common mistakes advanced learners always make. And the first one that I like to bring out today is adding not to the expression pretty sure. For example, people
Oh,
say, I'm not pretty sure that the weather is going to be today.
have you had this? I've
Oh
never
yeah,
had
I
this.
never heard it.
Okay,
It's wrong.
no. Okay.
Especially like people say I'm pretty sure. So I guess the negative is I'm not pretty sure. You
Uh-huh.
can't say that. I'm not
No,
quite sure. I'm not sure. It's just grammatically wrong.
I'm not so
I'm
sure.
not so sure exactly.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
we don't
pretty
use
no.
not before pretty sure. Instead we use I'm not sure or I'm not quite sure. Okay,
Right.
so instead of saying I'm not pretty sure George is gonna be here next podcast, you can't say that. You can't say that.
No.
So don't use pretty sure for negative statements.
Right. Pretty is it's
Like
an
like
it's an emphasizer, but
for
it's for
yeah,
positive or
for
affirmative.
exactly. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
feeling pretty. Like you can say I'm pretty down in the dumps right now. You can't say that. No, 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 no. But I'm
All
feeling
right.
pretty alive and well.
Oh, that's cool. I'm happy. I'm happy
Good.
for you. Happy for you. Okay.
Okay, you got
I
some.
got to know. I got mine. I got mine. This is
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
a common mistake between, among Hispanics.
Uh-huh.
And it's to ask about other people's abilities like this. You can play the piano. Now, remember that when we want to inquire about someone's skill to do something, we should always put the word can before the subject. So the correct form would be, can you play the piano? Right? Now, this is not entirely wrong. I mean, you can play the piano. It's not entirely wrong. All right.
Uh-huh.
You can say you can play the piano, but to this statement, we must add a question right at the end, something we call tag questions. So when using this expression, you should also say, can you? Can't you? You can play the piano. Can't you? Now, we use this type of question when we just need to confirm information we know, okay? Information we already
Mhm.
have. It's just a confirmation. But if you want to ask if someone knows how to do something, we ask, can you do this?
There you go.
There you
Good one. It is
go.
very common, and it's a bad habit. Don't do it, guys.
Super bad habit. Yes, super bad habit.
Super bad.
Yeah.
Okay, business English idiom of the week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just got cut to the chase
Cut
and
to the chase. Why
and
not?
tell me the bottom line.
Oh.
Okay. So bottom line is my idiom of the day, and bottom line essentially means the final total of the account of the ultimate deciding factor. That's so high. That's so high English.
It is very
It
very
is
high.
super high English. Okay. Now, essentially, we say bottom line, which is when we want to just go to the point and and
Get to the point, right?
go to the point
Just
and
bottom
talk
line it.
about essential stuff, right?
Now, one thing
That's
I
right.
love about English is you can make it a verb. Just God said, don't give me all the numbers, just bottom line it for me, okay?
That's right. Yes.
Oh, nice. That just sounds so
Oh
incredibly
yeah.
fluent. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And my favorite one is background people. That refers to people
Oh.
who do important work but aren't visible to the public. For example, he didn't exactly enjoy being a backroom boy. That's why he's improving his English speaking skills so he can start doing a more rewarding job for him.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So
backroom people would be, for example, IT guys,
yeah, People
Your
that don't work directly with the public necessarily.
people who
Um,
are in charge of maintenance for the office.
there you go. A lot of in my times, when I started teaching, um, background people were allowed to have tattoos because they didn't have, then we're not in contact with directly with the public.
Right. Well,
So,
now
but
they can.
now they can. Everybody had
No,
tattoos.
yeah, now it's not against the law. It's actually against the law to discriminate people
No,
for
no, no,
their
no.
tattoos.
Actually, particularly, yes.
Yes.
Okay. What about you, guys?
Okay, to the main topic. Let's get rolling. Okay. Understanding the different ways to make requests in English. As English learners, it's important to understand how we can make requests in English. We can make requests using phrases such as can you, could you, would you, may I, do you mind if, and many others. The ones that I've just told you are the most common. Now, the choice of the phrase you use will depend on the formality of the situation, the person you're speaking to, and the type of request you're making. And now, here are 4 different useful ways to make requests in English.
If you haven't downloaded the script of this podcast, make sure you get pen and paper so you don't miss any of these expressions.
All right.
Example, using can you or could you to make requests. One of the most common ways to make requests in English is to use the phrase can you or could you. Both of these phrases are considered polite and are often used in everyday conversations. For example, can you pass me the salt? Or could you please open the window? Both of these requests are polite and appropriate for most situations. Now, here's a tip, guys. Please don't say could you. Don't pronounce the L. It's pronounced
harder.
I know it's actually harder. I know, but if you come from a background where you speak Spanish, most people want to pronounce every single letter. We say
Right.
could
Could.
you,
Yeah.
could you.
Just
Don't say
eat it.
could. Forget
Eat
the L is silent. All right.
That's right. The phrase would you is another common way to make requests in English. This phrase is a little more formal than can you or could you. And it is often used in more professional or business settings. For example, you can say, would you please email me the report? Or would you mind taking notes during the meeting? Both of these requests are more formal and more appropriate for this setting. Okay. Tip, don't say would. It's harder to say would, as in would.
Exactly. All right. Don't say could or would. Okay.
Don't
So
say could or would.
yeah, that sounds so bad. Oh my God.
And it's harder.
It's actually
It's
harder to
so
say.
much
All
harder.
right. Just say
Yes.
could,
Yeah.
would.
Yeah. Just
You
cut
know?
it out. Just cut the L. You don't need
Okay.
it.
What about using may I to make requests? The phrase may I is another way to make a request in English that is considered formal and polite. This phrase is often used in more formal settings, such as when asking permission to do something. For example, you can say, may I borrow your pen? Or may I speak to the manager? Both of these requests are polite and appropriate for use in more formal settings. Now, given the fact that it's a formal thing, you actually want to pronounce properly may I. Don't say my. Like that's why people at lower levels will say, "My come in, teacher, my come in."
Yeah.
They don't pronounce may I, they say my. So
No,
that's a
take your
very
time.
bad. Take your time. Say, may I come in?
Right.
Okay.
That's right.
So,
Okay, cool. And the last one. I love this one
yeah. Me too.
because it sounds so pro and you will impress everyone if you introduce this one to your making requests habits.
Yep.
Do
Totally.
you mind if do you mind if using it for making requests? The phrase do you mind if is another way to make a request in English, but it's a little more informal. That's why you can use it in daily conversation. Okay. It's a little bit more informal than the other phrases we've discussed. This phrase is often used when you're asking someone's permission to do something, but not as in may I, right? It's more like if you're asking if they are bothered with what about your
Yeah,
request
does this
today.
bother you if I do it?
Exactly. And it's typically used in informal or casual settings. So asking, do you mind is actually, does it bother you? Like Javier said, So your answer should be no. Okay.
It should be
No, I
no,
don't
no, no,
mind.
I don't mind at
Oh,
all.
no, I
No.
don't mind, right? Because if you say yes, yes, I do, okay,
Oh, I wasn't
that would
expecting
be
that.
rude.
That would be kind of rude, like I'm asking you politely. Would you mind, Katja? Would you mind if I open the window? It's a little
Uh-huh.
hot in here.
Do you mind if I
Or do
open the
you mind if I
window?
open the window?
Mhm.
That would be a very polite way because we both know it's hot. So I'm
Right,
expecting a no, I don't mind.
right.
So a common mistake is people say yes, like saying yes, I give you permission, but the correct answer would be no, I
Yeah,
don't
but that
mind.
wasn't the question. The
That wasn't the
question was,
question.
are you bothered with this?
Yeah. Yeah, if you say, oh, yes, you mind? Okay, I guess I won't open the
That's
window.
right.
Okay,
Yes,
fine,
that's right. Yep.
fine. Sitting here, be
So you don't
hot.
want to be rude, do
Uh,
you?
no, you don't want to be rude, do you? No, no, no. Just use the proper answer for the question of do you mind?
Right. Examples for this phrase when making requests. Do you mind if I sit here? Do you mind if I take a picture? So both of these requests could actually fit into formal and informal appropriate settings. So
That's right.
it's quite universal, I would call it. It's like very easy to remember,
Mhm.
but try to remember what we just said about politeness.
Exactly.
All
Exactly.
right, let's wrap things up.
All right, all right. So you want to start or you want me to start?
Yeah, just thank you guys for listening again, and I hope that every episode that we're bringing in this season is really useful to you.
Mhm.
Please follow us and expect more. We're charging
Exactly.
our batteries to
Yeah,
give to bring you more and more
the
and more
best that we can
podcasts.
give. Okay, now
Yes.
everything we give you is gold, guys. Really put into practice, and you'll see your improvement of English really skyrocket. And we don't mind if you do.
We don't mind. So, would you mind saying your final words? Okay, very good. So, this is it for today. Thank you to all of our audience out there. And remember to subscribe to our channels. If you like this podcast, please share it with all your friends. You should also check our YouTube channel where you can find this podcast video version. And of course, you're more than welcome to comment on our videos. You can even actually make suggestions,
Yeah,
suggest
I
on
mean,
any topic that you
tell
want us
anything
to
that
bring.
well, tell us what's on your mind.
Yeah.
What's hard for you? What has been really hard for you in terms of English
Yes.
language learning?
Yeah, we'll
And
hack it for you.
we'll break it down for you. We'll hack it.
We'll hack it for you. All
Yeah,
right. You can also visit our website where you will find articles about English practice and learning. And remember,
perfect practice.
makes perfect. All
Yeah.
right. Until next time.
Till next time. Take care.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.